our homework review for 4-7. For the first few here, the directions say write all names that apply to each number. So we are going to start with the square root of 35. The square root of 35 is not a perfect square, so that's going to be an irrational number. Irrational and real would be the two categories that goes into. Number 17 is the fraction 5/8. Any fraction, any number that can be written as a fraction is a rational number. So that is rational and real. Number 18 is just the number 3, apparently. Yeah, the number 3 would be natural, whole, integer, rational, and real. Natural, whole, integer, rational, real. Number 19 is the square root of 81 over -3. So the square root of 81 is 9. 9 times 9 is 81. So then we would have 9 over -3, and that would simplify to -3. -3 would be an integer, rational, and real. Integer, rational, real. Number 20, the directions say state of each number is rational, irrational, or not real. So number 20, we see a negative underneath that square root symbol, which means it is not real. So not real. Number 21, we have the square root of 0/4. When you have 0 on the top, that's okay. So if our numerator is 0, that means this simplifies to 0. Technically, 0 times 0 is 0. And -0 is weird, but not really wrong. So that one would be a real number, it'd be a rational number, and it would be real. Number 22, we're multiplying negative times negative, which is positive. So at first glance, you might have thought, oh, not real because of that negative. But really, when we multiply, we get 16. Square root of 16 is 4. So number 22 would be natural, whole, integer, rational, real. 23, we have the negative outside of the square root. That's okay. It's -3, which is not a perfect square, so that means that that one would be irrational. Number 24, let's see, we'd have 5/8. So it's a fraction, that's a rational number. 25, we have the square root of 14. It's not a perfect square, so that's irrational. 26 is not real because of that negative, and 27 is not real because it has 0 for the denominator. You can't break things into 0 parts. 28, 29, and 30, we're supposed to find some number, find one number between each of the numbers that are given. So between 3 and 2/5 and 3 and 3/5, I'm going to actually change these to tenths. So we have 3 and 4/10. Now that I have switched these to tenths, I could say that 3 and 5/10, which is 3 and 1/2, is between our two fractions we were given. Number 29, we have -1/10 and 0. So between there, we could say we have -1/9, -1/8, -1/7, -1/6. You get the drift. Number 30, we have the square root of 9, which is 3. So we're talking about anything between 3 and 4. So we can say 3.5, 3 and 3/4, 3 and 1/10. You get the drift again. So any of those, Ruthie has her hand up. Yes. -1/9. Oh, it's not. Oh, darn that Ruthie. Okay, so she's right. So Ruth, yeah, she's right. Those are all over here. So as it turns out, 1/10 is between 0 and all those other things I said. So -1/10, we could say, how about this, Ruth? We could say I don't know. Negative. I was gonna say negative. I'm so confused now. Negative. So negative 1/100th is where I was going. So that's true. Yeah, negative 5/100ths would be also true. Negative 9/100ths. All right, now we get the drift. And those other things are over here, so ignore that. But between 3 and 4, I think I was good there. With anything that's between 3 and 4, 3.5, we'll go with. And call it a day. So that is it for this week. The only other thing that I would ask that you do after this homework is at least one day of Get More Math. That is essential. 5 days of Get More Math would be lovely, but at least one day is essential and counts as passing the 4th quarter. So if you had any questions on any of these other than the one mistake I made that Ruthie caught, thank goodness, go ahead, put a post on your math discussion board. To do that, you just click on reply to topic. You can type out your question, let me know what section, what number, and what question is, and I can respond to you that way. Otherwise, I will see y'all next week. Have a good weekend.